So, for a while now, there's something that I haven't talked about online and haven't felt a need to bring up during the streams or even just felt comfortable. It doesn't feel right anymore. And so I just want to talk about it and I just want to put it out there and let people make of it what they will. Because I feel like it's going to come out eventually. And so I would rather just it be out than be worried about it getting out. And that is, for the last couple of months, I have become obsessed with micro mukbang TikTokers. I watch an obscene amount of short videos of people eating delicious food and then telling me what they think of the food. And I'm not going to hide it anymore. I'm going to pretend that this isn't something that doesn't happen. It does regularly happen by choice. And I have watched so much of this content that I consider myself now knowledgeable on it. And what's more than that, I even have opinions on what makes a good micro mukbang TikTok. And so now I would like to take you through some of my favorites. I warn you, there will be the sounds of mastication. So just be prepared for that.
Let's try the Galaxy Caramel Reef. Let's give it a try. G for gangster. Here we go. 10 out of 10. Get down Iceland and pick up the Galaxy Caramel Reef.
This creator goes by the name Minstal Munchies, and what I appreciate about their content is the, in a way, like, lack of finesse. She is not concerned about cleaning up the food. She is not concerned about making it look presentable. She is simply just getting lost in the joy of devouring Marks and Spencer's foodstuffs. I appreciate her laid-back nature. I appreciate the way that she is completely just willing to enjoy this piece of food for the simple pleasure it is. And I think there's very little airs to her. I think that she's been doing this for less time than many of the other creators on this list, and in that I think she will refine her content moving forward, but I just think she has a great ways about her.
Let's try the brand new Galaxy Ball smashing dessert from Iceland. Brownie, caramel and chocolate in there. Super rich. It is worth it. Chocolate heaven. That's one of the best desserts. That's getting a 10 out of 10. Chocolate lovers, get down to Iceland and drop a follow for more dessert reviews.
I appreciate that none of what she's eating is like fancy or expensive. This is literally all stuff you could pick up at a fancy British supermarket. And I probably wouldn't eat a lot of this stuff because I try not to eat like excessive calories, because otherwise people will write message board threads about how I'm putting on weight. And also I don't want to be shit at jiu-jitsu. But I think I like to enjoy voyeuristically these snacks through her. But I need you to understand, Minstal Munchies is only like one specific kind of mukbang creator, mini mukbang creator, and the different philosophies and the different approaches each person has can produce dramatically different results. For example, here is Beast Mukbangs, also known as Beast Feast.
This looks bussin'. This is bussin', bro. Look at the details on this rose. It's like a white chocolate filling. I might light a pear. It actually has squished pear inside of it.
Clearly you can see a more advanced setup in Beast Mukbang's videos. There's like a more professional light setup, what looks like a better camera. But none of that matters because I feel like what is at the heart of Beast Mukbang's video here is cruelty. It carries a deep feeling of nihilism. This man tears into these desserts with all the empathy and emotion of an industrial strength meat grinder colliding with a small calf. And as I watch his teeth obliterate these desserts, I am shocked by the level of ferocity and vulgar appetite on display here. But I also respect that about him because I know I could never be like that. I could never do what this man does to food.
something sweet.
So let's just pause for a moment and think about some of the things we just witnessed. In that first bite, it looks like this man devours a toothpick that was stuck in his food wholesale, and he doesn't care. He just ingests it because that is what he is. He is the galactic black hole, and the food, his stranded, slowly spaghettifying astronauts. It is horrifying, but also strangely beautiful. When he says in that last clip that he needs something sweet after devouring what seems like several baskets full of chicken drenched in honey with honeycomb, and after all that he says he needs something sweet, I shed a tear because I feel like I'm watching the end of the universe. I am watching the limit of capacity. I am watching the close of infinity. And it scares me. I wish I could eat food like that. I have nothing but respect for this man. He just frightens me. Moving things along now, and in order to bring things to a slightly more positive place before we slide back into depravity, we have Ian Jack Dietz.
We got ice cream filled donuts from What Up Dough. First up, we got the Brookie. Next up, we got Cookie Monster. Oh yeah. Last up, we got Biscoff. I love Biscoff. Biscoff with the ice cream and the donut. Unbelievable. 9.5 out of 10. What Up Dough's in St. Anthony, Minnesota. I highly recommend you guys check it out. This is one of the most unique things I've ever ate. Absolutely delicious.
What I enjoy about Ian Jack Dietz is that he is simply delighted to travel from restaurant to restaurant, trying all kinds of excessive food that do not exist outside of America. I'm aware of things like state fairs in America, but they do not exist here. Here we just have fairs where a bunch of people get together and abuse horses. I think this looks way better, and there's so much about the food that Ian eats that I know that I will never encounter nor be able to encounter, for I have not spent my life devouring such dishes. But the way he pulls up to each restaurant, he eats the food immediately outside in his car. There's a simplicity to it all that I love. It makes me feel like I'm hanging out with this person, even though that I don't know that that's something that like either of us would even be interested in. But I think the fact that his videos are that simple and pleasant, it speaks to what a wonderful experience he is able to create in those moments. This next experience is not wonderful. This next experience is what happens when you stare into the absolute depths of depravity. We have reached the endurance mukbang portion of the video.
19 ounces of grass jelly. Full video is on YouTube. Link is in my bio.
That was Boof the Devourer eating 12 ounces of grass jelly. I don't know what grass jelly is. I do not want to know. I feel like within that video, I see a man push himself to his absolute limits. I see him scrape against those limits and begin to question if he ever should have done this. I see genuine terror. I see agony. I see endurance. I see triumph. I see so much in this man devouring this can of disgusting brown slime. I never want to do this. I never want to be anywhere near something like that. I do not understand so many of the sounds I heard, and yet I cannot look away. I've watched this video maybe 5 or 6 times, and I'm going to watch it at least 5 or 6 more. It is horrifying and strangely peaceful. It's like watching the universe explode, and as the ashes of planets comes crumbling down around you, you know there can be no more chaos because there is nothing left. That is how this video makes me feel. Finally, we reach my absolute favorite micro mukbanger. I know people are going to make something out of this and say that it's something that it's not because she is mildly goth-coded, but nothing could be further from the truth. I have nothing but respect for this woman and her craft.
I'm in Dublin, Ireland, and I have cookies from a Korean-owned bakery called Cookie Boy. This is the most Biscoff-forward Biscoff dessert I've ever had. It's a half step from eating it straight out of the jar. The texture is very cakey, but it's incredibly rich. It almost eats like a fudge. It's delicious. 10 out of 10. Last, we have the cookie I'm most excited for. This is blueberry cream cheese. Okay, that first bite was all filling. It's delicious. It tastes like blueberry cheesecake. The blueberry cream cheese filling is divine, but the star here is this ultra buttery cookie base. Tastes like caramelized Irish butter. It's salty, it's sweet. 1 million out of 10.
So that was Janie Devour's. In terms of micro mukbang content, I think Janie Devour's is just a fundamentals machine. She has great lighting. She has a very good camera, which means that she can hold the food close to the camera and give you up close looks at it, and the autofocus immediately captures it before snapping back to her face. She's very selective about the pieces of the food she does show, but I think what really reads under all that is her just absolute love of cooking. She loves this in the same way I love fighting game character design, in the way I love manga panel layout, in the way I love the narrative of a wrestling match. And I think what's great about that is she also has the culinary knowledge and vocabulary to express each hint of flavor that she encounters, and it is just a delight. I think my favorite parts of these videos is when she takes a bite out of something really, really good, and for just a moment you can see the utter joy fill her eyes. It is a moment of intense just enjoyment and being passionate about this thing you love, and I have so much admiration for her for that. You may have noticed her eating at Cookie Boy there. I also covered Cookie Boy last year, and everything she says about it is 100% dead on. That blueberry cheesecake is 1 million out of 10. But I think maybe my favorite thing about Janie is that she can also be utterly devastating without saying very much at all. For example, here is a bakery that she did not like that much.
Today I'm trying more of the most viral desserts in Los Angeles. These are from Aurora Shimmering Delicacies. I'm still not sure. This reminds me of the macarons at Disneyland, which are not good. I can detect a whisper of rose water, but other than that, it's extremely sweet and flavorless. Inside is solidified. It has the texture of margarine straight out of the fridge. Chocolate mousse tastes like a milkshake at In-N-Out, but for $22, I expect a well-executed pastry. 4 out of 10. I'm taking the cream puffs off because they are not good. It was pretty, so 1.5.
Like all creatives that I respect, I both admire and fear Janie. The way she runs those bakeries with the verbal nihilism of only the most cruel and callous of primary school teacher, it frightens me to my core, and I deeply respect it. So there. Now you know my secret. It's up to you whether you want to keep watching from here or not. And you know what? I'm not even scared. I think I'm just glad that it's out now, and what will be from here. But I know now that I am free.